It's Jane o'clock na! Hello mga ka-char! So today, again, I'm not an immigration advisor, and all the things that I'm sharing with you guys are all based on my own experience. And just to take note, I'm not telling you to do the same thing if you're not confident enough, kasi there might be things that would be different on your end and in my end. So again, I'm sharing my experiences based on, of course, how we did it or how we did things on our own. So again, it's Jane o'clock na! Hello mga ka-char! So today, we are driving with my tropang patis! Ayan na nga po ang tropa ko, chill na chill. Nagko-cruise driving here in New Zealand. So, wait nyo lang po siya, pabalik na siya. Pero babalik daw po siya dito. Oo. Joke lang. Minura niya po ako. Kahit na napakabait ko po na tinuturuan ko siyang mag-drive bilang susunod na residente ng New Zealand. Max namin! So, I just want to share with everyone that I already have, or my family and I already received our residency visa. So, I've applied for skilled migrant category. So, I've used my NZQA assessments with my PhD, MA, and bachelor's degree. So, aside from those things, the reason why I've applied for SMC instead of straight to residency is because when I applied last March 24, 2024, the straight to residency for secondary teachers are not yet approved, or it's not yet for green list role like teachers. So that's why I tried the skilled migrant category. And of course, with the help of my sister, Ate Ellen, we've applied online. Everything in New Zealand is online. So whatever visa you want to apply, you can check their website and check for their requirements. So again, I'm not an immigration advisor, and all the things that I'm sharing with you guys are all based on my own experience. And just to take note, I'm not telling you to do the same thing if you're not confident enough, kasi there might be things that would be different on your end and in my end. So again, I'm sharing my experiences based on, of course, how we did it or how we did things on our own. So again, last March 24, I've applied for a skilled migrant category, and one of the things that they required us to upload in the SMC application or the skilled migrant category application are my NZQA assessments, which are before I got my NZQA, I uploaded my batch, my TOR and my diploma. So again, if you apply for an NZQA, make sure that you have your diploma and your transcript of records. So others are asking, should I apply or should I include the course by course description? So I would highly suggest that you do the course by course description if you have. So in my case, I only have course by course description on my master's degree but not on my doctorate degree. So for those who are asking, I graduated my bachelor's degree in Gordon College in Olongapo City, Philippines. My master's degree, I graduated in Columban College, again in Olongapo City. And yung last is my PhD in Pacific Intercontinental College, or PIC. So that's my
In 500
PhD.
meters, continue on to State Highway.
So aside from those things, we've also applied for, what do you call this? Or we've also uploaded in the website our police certificates, or in the Philippines we call it as our NBI. So
Continue on State
even
Highway
if,
2 for 34
sorry for that,
kilometers.
because we're traveling, the NBI, even if it will expire in a year, it should be for the past 6 months. So for example, you've applied for your NBI last January, and then you will apply for your residency on November. So definitely you will need a new NBI, kasi even if it will expire in a year, the immigration needs it for at least the last 6 months. And then for the FBI, because we've lived in the US for 5 years, so that means kasi they were asking for the last 10 years where you've lived. So one, we've lived in the Philippines since birth, so we needed the NBI. And the second one is the FBI, because we've lived in the US for the last 5 years, from 2018 to 2023. So what I did on the FBI to be able to get that is I applied online. I just googled, I think, identity history, and then I've searched here in New Zealand on where could I get fingerprint cards, because that is a requirement. So what me, Daddy, Kun, and Lance had is we went to Auckland. I booked an appointment for the fingerprinting. So before I went to fingerprinting, what I've also done is I paid for it online. Okay, I think I already have a video about my FBI on how to apply FBI if you are not in the United States of America. So those are the things that were really required of us from the immigration when we applied for the skilled migrant category. Again, this is based on our experience. Kasi nga, it is a requirement na your police certificates should be within 6 months. And then, when it comes to our medical certificates, since it hasn't been a year, they accepted all those medicals. So that's a good thing. So I think one of the reasons why I wanted to apply for the skilled migrant category right away is because of the medical. Kasi it's another payment. So para lang, to save money, and it's still, credible and everything, we already applied for that one. So under the skilled migrant category, by the way, it's a pointing system. So you should have 6 points to be able to get your residency using the skilled migrant category. And then one of the things that were also asked to me, because before I moved to a secondary school or in a high school, I've worked in an ECE setting, meaning I've worked as an ECE teacher. So what do we mean by that? So an early childhood educator. Then some of you might ask, how were you able to get certification in ECE? I'm a secondary teacher. So that's another story to tell. So most probably, the only thing that I'm thinking is, because my 5 years experience in the US is I was in the elementary setting, so primary education. So I think the teaching council also considered that. And I have teaching certificates or teacher certification in the US, which is in Arizona and New Mexico. So even if my bachelor's degree is only on level 6, kasi nga my first course is pharmacy, I wasn't able to graduate in pharmacy. So I shifted to education, and then boom, level 6. But other people, they were able to get level 7, especially if they started in Gordon College. That's all I know. Okay, but again, this might not be the same thing for you. So when I got my teaching registration, I went through a discretionary pathway. And then the teaching council gave me a letter that I could work as an ECE teacher. And then what else happened? Because yun nga, just like what I've said, all the things that I've used for the skilled migrant category were also the things that I've used when I applied for an accredited employer worker visa or AEWV. And then yun, I think that's all that I've had. So March 24, I applied for skilled migrant category visa. March 28, I already have my immigration officer or case manager. And then the only thing that he asked me to provide was our police certificates, which took like a month. Especially, we have to wait for the FBI from the United States. But the good thing with FBI in the US is they send you a soft copy on your email, and then they will also send you a copy on your postal address. So again, I hope you guys have learned something today for the skilled migrant category. And the fee, by the way, for that is I think 4,760 New Zealand dollars. So yun lang. I hope you guys have learned something today. Bye mga kachar, mga kachar. And my driver here, so quiet. Do you have any questions for me? Hi? Yun. He doesn't have any questions na daw. So anyway, for all secondary teachers, you can always check Education Gazette, because that's where I found two of my schools, or two of the things that I've worked with. Not things, two of the employers. Okay, I found them in using the Education Gazette. And always, whatever you do, wherever you are, samahan natin, or let's include a lot of prayers along the way, that if it is His will, it will be given to you. God bless you, everyone.